This car is G'day everyone, welcome to Automotive Carnage. My name's DJ and thank you so much for joining us on part 2 of our RX2 finds. Now, if you watched last week's episode, I recommend you jump over there if you haven't already, where we dragged this thing out of the bush where it had been left sitting since we estimate about the 90s. Thank you very much to Ben and Spindle for getting hold of us and sharing the location of this vehicle, and because of them we're able to rescue this, and it's going to get a brand new lease on life through the hands of Jay from the Low Standard. So today we need to get this thing ready. We need to give it a bit of a clean out, make sure these doors are secure, get some new tires on it so it's ready for its 2,500 kilometer road trip to Adelaide. First thing I have to say is how great is it now we have like this massive shed to store all of our cars and to work on them. We have shade for days, which is absolutely fantastic. We're not sweating out in the heat anymore. Anyway, back to the RX2. The first thing I want to do is I want to jack it up, get onto some blocks and take all of these rims off so that I can take them back out to work and put some brand new tires on them. And then that way, that's going to be a huge help into getting this car rolling again. Now, once those are off, we'll check all the brakes, make sure they're not seized up. Actually, I don't think they are. The only problem we had was that this wheel wouldn't turn. And I think it was more to do with the tire popping off the rim than anything to do with the brakes. Right, so we'll jack it up, get those all off, and then let's dive into the interior. And I want to see if there's any treasures in here. So we'll clean up all these leaves, all the broken glass. We'll pull these seats out, see what's going on underneath there. And then we'll jump into the boot and see if we can clean it up as well. Pretty much the more junk we can take out of this, the less work and the safer it is for the truckies who have to transport it across the country, especially with the fact that this is a non-running car. The other thing we should probably do as well is make sure that this driver's side door is easily open so that they can get in there, which due to the fact we were doing 100 odd Ks on the road, I don't think this car appreciated that too much and started to peel this window frame away from the body as we're driving down the road. So I was having a guess as to how long it was going to last before the door actually just completely fell off. But we made it home with not too much dramas. I mean, that's a sizable gap there. So yes, anyway, we'll chuck you onto Hyperlapse now. We'll get this thing up off the air, get them wheels off, and let's just get stuck into this vehicle. Cannot wait to see what we find. Alrighty, I think it's about time we have an update on the progress we have made. There has been plenty of it. Now, you will see me down here struggling with how to take the caliper off this front wheel, but it's off now. Well, it's currently on at the moment, but what we do have is that this hub now freely rotates, which is fantastic. So that means that every hub and axle is actually rotating, and this car will be a fantastic rolling chassis once we have some new tires. Now, what's really cool is we actually have tires on this car. We presume were the tires that were on it when it was abandoned, and every tire has a date stamp. Now, I've had a friend, I sent photos of the date stamps to a friend who works with tires, and he's saying that most of these are stamped from 1982. They are very old tires. So that gives us an indication as to how long ago this car was abandoned. So we've got those at 1982. We come around here and I only found one coin. Coins are a fantastic way of trying to date a vehicle. Oh, there it is, a 5-cent coin. That was 19 88. 5 cent? Yeah, 5 cent coin. There we have another great indication of loose change is really helpful at telling us how long ago a car was abandoned. Obviously it's not the be all and end all, but you know, if we don't go over a certain date, we can kind of start to gauge when the car was abandoned. Now we jump inside here. We've cleaned up a few of our floors. We've still got that one over there to go, so we might find some treasures there. The back is looking absolutely fantastic. Rust-wise, we've got a bit of a hole here. I'm not too sure how that one happened. We've got some holes down here, over there. So this one is definitely in worse shape than the RX3 that we gave Jay. But, you know, its bones are still there. It's going to need a lot of massaging, but we can make this one work. Right, now, another great way of telling how long a car has been abandoned for is with products. So wrappers, cans, all that kind of stuff. These generally have expiry dates on them. So first off, anyone from Western Australia, do you recognize this logo and this style of packaging for Mrs. Mac's pies? And roughly kind of what period that this company used this wrapping. Do we have a date on here? It doesn't appear to, but that's okay. So the back's looking really cool. Now, another cool thing that we noticed was these. How cool is that? I'm not too sure what this logo is, but they're embossed on the back of the seats. There will have been one on there, and I've seen it somewhere else. Oh, yes, in the driver's seat. I think, yep, there it is, upside down. Really funky logo, so I'd like to know what that one is. And as for other trinkets, not too much was left in this car that was of interest. Oh, there you go, there's a VB bottle that we found in there, so that's another old style logo. Again, no dates on that, unfortunately. One of the other cool things that we found was a scratchy ticket. So a Royal Flush from the West Australian Lotteries Commission. They should have a date on them too, but she's pretty crinkle. I don't want to damage it, but that was a $1 scratchy. I wonder if I could still redeem it if it's a winner. Is it a winner? Oh, I don't know, I can't read the instructions anyway. Scratchy, but the best thing that we found amongst all the mess was the rotary Mazda horn pad for the steering wheel. So we just found this sitting down on the driver's seat. Well, that is absolutely fantastic. Such a beautiful piece of the car. So that fits over there nicely, line it up, and then you got this really cool sports steering wheel on there. Now, there is one last piece of junk that we found in this car that pretty much confirms the exact year and potentially a month of when this car was abandoned. So what we have here is some old abandoned drugs. Not your illicit kind, looks like some sort of paracetamol or what have you. But we know that, there goes that lottery ticket. We know this style of Panadol generally lasts for about 12 months, and on here we have a printed expiry date, and that is April 1998. So there you go. This car will have been abandoned roughly around that same time. I dare say it will be in 97 or 98 that this car was left out in the bush. So that is really, really cool. It's so cool to have such a definite way of telling how long a car has been in the bush for. I think that's as far as we'll go for the trinkets today. I have to shoot off, unfortunately, to some other events I've got lined up. What we will do is we will take our rims and tyres now back out to work, and we'll strip them, put some brand new tyres on there, and mate, this thing is going to be rolling in no time. Just you wait and see. Let's get these tyres done. G'day folks, as you can see we are back up in the goldfields in our little tyre bay that we have here, and we have our stash of RX2 rims and tyres, which are very hard after being sitting in the sun since 97, 98. So we've got a couple of brand new 13-inch tyres, and it's going to take two of us, so Dad's here helping as well. We've got two done, which is fantastic, and yeah, we'll just get stuck into the other ones. Oh god, let's try this. I got both beads at once. Oh, this is the really bent rim that we gotta give a bit of attention to. So yeah, we need to fix that. works. It's not perfect, but it should hold here long enough to get it on and off the trailer. We might give it a few more whacks. It's pretty close, but yeah, each one of these is getting new valves as well. Is that a new one? Because they're just dry, rotted, and useless. Right, I'll keep bashing that. Get a valve in that one. Any loose rust particles, so stop any. Right. So there we go, folks. 4 brand new tyres on the old original rims that were on the RX2. Went surprisingly well. Definitely helps having someone who knows what they're doing helping out as well. So thank you very much to Dad for coming along. Could not have done it without them actually having to double gun quite a few of these old tyres been in storage for a long time. So that's all for this one. Tomorrow we have to get down 800 k's way back to the farm where the car is, because the transporter is coming and he'll be here at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. So I've got to travel 800 kilometers with a trailer with the Crusader on the back and get there in time to put these on and get that car onto the transporter. So bit of a tight deadline, but I'm sure we'll be able to get it done. We'll just leave plenty early enough in the morning. So that's what I'm going to get up to for the next couple of hours, but for you it will be pretty much instantaneous, and I shall see you tomorrow afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. So as I said just before, for you guys it's a matter of like half a second, but for me this has been quite a few hours today driving down, and now I'm currently driving the biggest piece of machinery I've ever driven, with absolutely no experience, so this is kind of interesting and fun. Oh, and there's so many flies down here, it's crazy. Oh, so yeah, anyway, the truck driver has arrived to pick up the RX2. He was like an hour early, which made it interesting, but we're here. So yeah, now I'm just using Dad's big blimmin' massive 4-wheel drive tractor that's got tines on the front, and we've got to use that to lift it onto the back of this guy's truck. Now when we get back up there, the machinery or the cars he's got already on his truck are absolutely amazing, really cool cars. And it just so happens that I have to lift the really dodgy Bush RX2 on top of the most cleanest and expensive car on this guy's trailer. So I'm going to put you down. I'm going to learn how to drive this tractor properly, which I've never driven before. So this is going to be quite interesting, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't scratch this absolutely amazing Fiat, I think it was. But yeah, let's get up there now and go have a look, shall we? Alrighty, here we go, guys. We're back up on our farm now. This is going to be a bit like a voiceover because you're going to see me from the outside. I got my son on camera duties, and I'm talking from my microphone up in the tractor. So I'm going to just listen to Mick here for a second. Oops, touch. We're still very much learning. I'm going to treat this like a forklift. Nice and gentle, gentle, gentle. Mix a whiz on the controls. Right, let's go up. Now, I'm not too worried about scratching it, that's alright.
Can you see the front wheel of that?
Over this side?
Yep.
Yes, I can.
Alright, what you're going to do is you're going to aim the front wheel of that in the very centre of that front rack.
Gotcha.
And I will adjust the rear rack to suit. So if you can sort of get it up and
yep.
There, I'll move the rear rack to...
Alright, so work off front wheel in the front rack.
In that, yep.
Too easy, mate. Sorry about the lack of commentary, but I'm very nervous actually at the moment. I have never done this before, and we're talking about some very expensive vehicles that are not mine. The RX2 is okay. We can scratch up the RX2 a little bit, but that one that's on the actual truck looks absolutely fantastic. Oh, alright, next time you go up. Okay, that lever moves a bit quickly.
I'd probably just leave it, sort of leaning back a bit.
Yep. Yeah, that jumped a bit quicker than I expected. This is highly amusing.
Once you lift it up high enough, you'll be able to spot yourself anyway.
Yeah, sweet as. I'll just get you to keep an eye on the angle. I can't judge it too well from this side.
Yeah, I'd probably just sort of
A bit more forward, yep.
tilt him just a little. I'd probably leave it there, yeah.
Yep. Sorry to the person who owns that nice field underneath and dropping dirt on your car.
Because worst case, we can put it down and we can grab another bite at it.
Okay. Yeah, I should have gone a bit more forward towards your cab. Now, ring buzz going well. Sorry for lack of commentary, but I'm really having to concentrate getting that up on, onto those racks. Very nervous, very big machine, and having to do very small movements with it when I have never driven this machine before. Alright, so yeah, Mick will get that into position and we'll catch up with you shortly. Considering I've never driven that before, I reckon that went pretty well. That's all the way up there now. Alright, let's go look at some of these other cars around here. So look at that, there you go. So you got the RX2 up there, you're welcome Jay, that's all yours now. Beautiful Fiat circuit car, looking at the tyres on there. FC RX7. If I went mad and got a rotary, that would be the one. And beautiful Monaro on the end here. And that's off to get restored as well. So there we go, Mick is going to finish strapping that wonderful piece of bush history, adventure, and good times down to the back of his truck. Anyway, so next time you guys will see it will be over in Adelaide, and most likely on the Low Standards channel with Jay. And yeah, he's got some very interesting plans with this particular car. So make sure you join in with that channel and see the progress of the RX2. So thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you on the episode of Automotive Carnage. See you later.